Hello, thank you for clicking on this video, and today we're going to be driving the heavyweight champion of the GDM world. That's right, the R34 Skyline Z-Tune, one of the rarest Skyline GTRs to ever be made, and it's something that a lot of GDM fans really hail as just an absolute god of a car. Going to tell you why over a few laps of Gunsai. So what is a Z-Tune? Well, in 1984 Nismo was founded. 20 years later they went to give themselves a bit of a birthday present for reaching 2 decades old. So this is what they built. What's different about this car then compared to a regular Nissan Skyline GTR? Well, this car, I'll start with the engine, uses an RB26 DETT Z2. Those last two characters, the Z2, being what differentiates it from a regular Skyline V-Spec. This is basically a fully built engine is what it is. It uses a cast iron block, just like the regular car does, except this one's sourced from a race car. It's also bored out slightly. It's got different connecting rods. I believe it's got a slightly longer stroke as well. That means instead of being a 2.6 litre, it's actually a 2.8 litre. It's also got different pistons that are stronger, different cams. Yeah, it's a full built engine. It also has different turbochargers too. So that put together with this car's cooling system and mostly titanium exhaust pipe mean it puts out just shy of 500 brake horsepower and 405 pound-feet torque. Compare that to the regular car's claimed 276 horsepower. Really it is more like what, 320, something like that. And it's nearly double the power actually. So it is a lot faster in the straight line. 0 to 60 in this car only takes 3.8 seconds, and the top speed is capped at 203 miles an hour, so a very fast car indeed. But it's not just the engine where they've made changes in this car, it's also the chassis too. It's got different spot welds in it. I say different, more is what I really mean. It's got additional bracing in the form of a titanium strut brace that's a big beefy piece of metal that goes over the engine. It's also got some sort of carbon fibre polymer material that reinforces the strut towers, the floor of the car, the transmission tunnel, as well as the boot as well. So at some strategic locations. Basically, this car handles a lot better as a result. Something else to mention as well on the handling front in this car is the Sachs Racing dampers. If you know Sachs dampers, you'll know that they're also in the legendary Renault Clio 182 Trophy, as well as some British touring cars. So this car's got loads and loads of pedigree to it, and then there's the rarity aspect of it too. They only made 20 of these cars. Of that 20, 19 are silver, and there's one special car that was painted midnight purple. And if you're a GDM weeb, you'll know midnight purple is a very special colour. It's quite a rare colour as well, and it's just absolutely beautiful to look at. Has to be my most favourite colour ever put in a car. Back to talking about this car though, and the technical aspects of it. Revs to 8,000 RPM now. It's basically been remapped as well. Obviously that would come with new turbos, but it's got a much more aggressive map on it. Even the traction control system in this car is different as well. So there's so many elements of this car that just make JDM car enthusiasts gawk at it. Another interesting fact about this car is that usually when you have a company that will build, you know, cars like this, whether it be homologation specials or something like that, they usually start with a car that's, you know, not built yet, i.e. just a chassis, or if it is built, it'll be a brand new car. However, these GTRs, the R34 generation, they were made from January 1999 to August 2002, and with this car here being from 2005, they didn't actually build these cars when the production line was up and running. Instead they had to go and buy some second-hand ones, so they picked cars that didn't have any crash damage, obviously, if you're going to build a car this special, and had less than 30,000 kilometres in them, which is about 20,000 miles. Alright, so with all that in mind, let's see how fast a lap this car can put down on Gunsai Toge. Okay, approaching the first corner now. we're going to try and take it in third gear so we get a nice, smooth, stable exit in a higher gear and make use of this car's twin turbos for the low down torque. Second gear for the second corner, we want a bit more revs to play with there, carry speed nicely out of there. Coming up this left hand is really going to put this car's tyres to the test. Speaking of which, you could get this car with, what's the name of it, semi-slick tyres, yes, from the factory, which are very, very cool to get on a production car. Braking really late there, giving this car's braking system, which is a big brake system, a good workout. Granted, we do have 8,000 RPM of engine braking to assist it. On the throttle really early now. Seeing how much speed we can carry into this section now. This car's nemesis is slow tight corners such as this one. Being a big GT car, it really does struggle with them, but I can sort of forgive it for pushing the front end wide given its weight. I'm going to try and use all the track now and turning really early. Don't hit the barrier on the left hand side. Flat into this corner but tapping the brakes to try and tuck the front end in. Over the crest, once again completely flat. Oh, nearly crashed there. Don't want to steer off into the mound on the right hand side now. Turning in really early because this car can be quite understeery on the uphill. Second gear for this corner, we're not going to change up into third. Didn't even hit the rev limiter, so we're okay. I always find this corner really difficult, I don't know when to get on the throttle. And here's another one of those tight, slow speed corners. Do sort of have to use first gear for that, but you don't want to get the car sliding when you come out of there, which is difficult. Braking as late as I can. Into first gear. Ah no, that was neutral. That must have cost me quite a bit of time. Let's try and make up for it on the uphill exit to this corner. Oh, 1 minute 20.9. That was an okay lap time. Although I do think I could go a bit faster, to be fair. If I was tidier and if I hadn't accidentally changed into neutral on the exit to that corner, we probably would have gone quite a lot faster. Maybe even a 1 minute, sorry, beg your pardon, 2 minutes 19. So there you have it. I hope you found that quite interesting. I certainly think that's a very interesting car. I certainly think it's an amazing car to aspire to, although, let's face it, one that's probably unattainable. It's a shame that R34 values have gone so high that very few people can even afford to own a regular R34. But then again, in some ways it's also a good thing, because it means that the people who buy these cars are really going to take care of them. Nonetheless, I'll have another video for you coming up next Tuesday, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.